do want to keep your diffuser up here. Yeah. As well as this.
Hey, Becky.
What? I didn't expect you to be in here. Oh, I did. We're periscoping on purpose again. This is where we are. So check this out. If you can get kind of a wide panning. This is Jen's home office. And she has the perfect little setup here because she already has the space. She has a desk, so she has some organization in a closet. Can you kind of circle around? You see the closet, and then down here, I'm going to explain what everything is in a second. And then this shelf over here. So I'll actually start here. Okay, back up. So what we've decided to do is we've decided to actually take Jen's space and compartmentalize and organize in such a way that is a little bit more workflow friendly for her. And so it's kind of not something that we thought we would need to do, because you walk in here and you're like, oh, she has the space, she's pretty well organized, and she is. But as we were looking closely at where things are, it just made sense that maybe we just do that. So that's what we're doing. So here's what we've decided. This is her desk area, and this is where she works. And it's not just work, it's scrapbooking. And then right here, she has these cubes, and we've decided that that will be the designated place for all of her work stuff and office supplies. So you see it's not scattered, and it's not just in different places, it's just right there. Then, in her closet, we're going to make this a designated place for all of the scrapbooking supplies, like all the crafting stuff, all that good stuff, right? That's what we said, right? Okay, and then so what Jen's doing is pulling out stuff that's not supplies or work stuff. It's actually to be scrapbooked. And this is all stuff that's going to need to be organized and sorted, and we're going to get that all figured out. And so we're going to probably keep it containerized, you think, for moving it?
Keep it in there?
Yeah, I think so, just for the sake of keeping it all in one place. And that's what this area is we are going to, there's supplies, or no, that's Finn's book, isn't it? We're going to get a big table, little trip to IKEA today. Big long table, so that we have that here across this wall with some shelving up here is what we're thinking, which will literally double, triple her space, her work area. And that's going to be really nice for piles. So with Project Photo Rescue, there has to be some sort of like sorting and organizing and categorizing of what you want to work on. And we've already sorted through everything emotionally and physically with what Jen wants to work on. So now that we have that game plan in place, we can now go, okay, so here's all the to-be scrapbook stuff. It's in bins, it's in boxes, it's on the floor, and it seems to be like multiplying and replenishing in her room because you start finding it all and you're like, I have a lot. So that's exciting because then we'll get to the part of organizing it. Then over here, we designated this as the place where all of her albums, complete or not, would all be right here because they weren't all together. Now she has selected a handful that she's going to keep in the basement where her kids play, because they're not totally in hiding, but they're definitely not the scrapbooks that she would be like, I want to look at this today. Meaning like the wedding album, right? That's not the scrapbook that she wants to just pull out and look at all the time. When it ended in divorce, and so that's not necessarily something that she would just be reaching for all the time, but it's never something that she would throw away, and it's definitely a part of her story, so having it accessible for the kids in the basement where they play is really cool. So what we've done here temporarily, and Molly, you can get in close to see this, is we have labeled with sticky notes to just have a general idea of what's going on. These are her yearly family albums. We have some miscellaneous albums down here, and Finn's and Lily's albums. She's got Week in the Life and some December Daily albums and others. And so we're just kind of sorting through this, and then of course we'll label. So that's where we are in the process. And then we also have this cart, which I wasn't thinking about earlier. So because we'll want to keep, I think we'll want to keep all supplies in the closet, and yet you have the cart, so we'll want to figure out what makes the most sense in there. Okay. So, yeah.
Someone mentioned that they don't have full albums like these, but we should probably know most of them are not complete. So
right?
just for everyone to feel better.
Not all complete albums. In fact, we have notation on all that of which ones are not complete, because part of Jen's goal is that she does complete those albums that are not complete. And there is a way to do that that's not like so crazy overwhelming, because there's no reason to go back to 2011 and feel like you have to scrapbook so thoroughly and in depth when, look, that year is 5 years ago. I just want to wrap it up and make sure that I can tie a pretty bow on it, figuratively speaking, and not feel like it's an unfinished project. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's the goal. So yeah, many of these are not complete, but that's part of Project Photo Rescue for Jen, and our takeaway with the goal and the game plan is that she'll be able to wrap those up. What other questions? Oh, got a trash bag? Because it is okay to throw things away. And we haven't thrown away much yet. She also has started a donation pile. A donation of a couple of albums already.
Right.
Yeah, ones that she doesn't need to use that she thought she might use and she's not going to. What else?
Someone asked if you put them in order by year you scrapbooked them or year the pictures were taken. Years the pictures were taken.
Yeah, chronological in the sense of like the content. Yeah, that's a good question. What other questions do you guys have? This will be a short and sweet Periscope because we got to stay focused here.
Someone did ask how long you think this will take.
We were here 2.5 hours yesterday. Today is a full day, like whatever that means. We'll be here for a little bit, and we'll just make sure that we get really good progress. We're going to go to IKEA, get table and shelves. I think that we're going to get really organized today, really organized, so that tomorrow we're doing a little bit more sorting of this stuff and hopefully establish the albums that she is planning to do. So, I mean, I don't know exactly how to necessarily label and identify exactly what we'll accomplish, but the total time that we're spending together is 2.5 days, and already it's, you know, a day into this and we're making a lot of great progress. And that's without even doing anything for the first several hours. They're just talking. That's the crazy thing. They're just talking and asking questions and diving in deep to the why and the what and the how are we going to do this. And so, yeah.
Here's a great question.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what will you do?
Needs one here. We're not sure.
They're more personal, I guess.
Oh, okay. So maybe your bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, unless you want to keep them here.
I might keep them here.
You can put them on the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
What will you do with any leftover stuff that you don't scrapbook? So this pile
This
here, right.
Okay. Yeah, so Jen's going to go through, when we get to that part, which is going to be later today or more likely tomorrow morning, we're going to go through everything, and my strategy is that we will organize it according to person and timing, because she already knows that she wants to keep it generally chronological without being so obsessed with the exact timing. And I agree with that. I think there's no reason to get so caught up in like exactly what month and year it was or whatever. Having said that, when we sort it, my best advice would be that you sort before you purge. So I don't want Jen to go through all this stuff and just start tossing things at you. She's like, that doesn't matter. Because you know what happens if you do that, is you might just go, I don't like that picture. It's not really, there's so many like it, I'm just going to toss it. And then you realize later, that was actually the only piece of art that you had from 3rd grade or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there's a professional organizer and author. Her name is Julie Morgenstern. And she's the one that influenced me with that idea like a million years ago. And it's an acronym called SPACE, S-P-A-C-E. So you sort before you purge, and then you assign where it's going to go, and then you containerize, that's a C, and then the last E is something like equalize, or something that makes it so that you spend an even amount of time on a regular basis to stay up on your organization. The point is that sorting before you purge is really smart. She doesn't talk about scrapbooking or mementos or anything like that, but it makes so much sense to me.
Right.
That I just don't want to toss anything until I can see, okay, here's Finn's kindergarten year. Here's Finn's 1st grade year. Okay, well then it's going to be so much easier to throw away stuff because there's so much. Like, who wants that much stuff of their kindergarten year? You know, yeah. Anyway, that's my thought. So we'll get to that point tomorrow. We'll be sharing more thoughts on that. Any other questions?
Someone asked where you'll be keeping all of the actual Project Life cards and supplies. I think you said closet.
We haven't decided for sure, but closet is where we think all the supplies will be. Right now, if you want to come around here, Molly, Jen does.
Oh.
She's already like super organized about keeping cards right here in the drawer, which I really like, and this desk works really well for that. And so we have to make that decision as to whether or not we want to keep the Project Life cards here, or you don't have the original boxes, do you?
No.
Let me show you something.
Just the baby edition one.
Yes, like the more
And
sturdy.
the older. Like
Where's
the
that
cobalt.
container from Close to My Heart? Where's I'll get it. I think it's in
was
the
that
hallway.
way.
Did you guys see the stuff in the hallway?
I did show them some of it.
Yeah, like we have to come out here to organize, because obviously when you organize you have to make messes first. So a lot of you know that we have been trying to make an organizational tote, and our supplier is just not pulling through on that, which is fine. Some things don't work out, but this one is from Close to My Heart, and a lot of people, don't you know other people that also use it? A lot of people do use this type of product. I'm not sure how the clasp works.
Yep, pull up on the bottom.
Up?
Yep.
Okay. So that's pretty great organization. So I think we might throw more cards in here. You might get a second one of these. I don't know. We're going to figure that out. So, yeah. Any other questions? Or should we sign out?
I haven't seen any others.
Want to see me fall into a bucket? Okay. All right, cool. Well, then we'll see you guys later. We're going to share more on Instagram, and we'll Periscope later, and it's good times. We're going to now, like, play our music again.
Oh, the last question, which I did miss.
Yeah.
Is she using Project Life to do her catch-up, or, paper
Or
scrapbooking?
traditional.
Yeah.
Project Life.
Why, Jen?
Sure, because it's so easy.
I did not influence that. I mean, I influenced probably over the years, but yeah, no, like that's not even been a big push for me. I think that Jen is just naturally and already in that place of knowing that Project Life is just, well, you say, it's just faster.
It's faster. I have no desire to do like a traditional 12 by 12 layout again. It's just easier,
And having
it's
said
cute.
that,
There's cute designs, so you can still be creative with it.
and that's the thing, Jen's realized that, is that she really does like the creative part of it. So she still does embellishing and still has fun with the cards, but I mean, she's not only slipping it in and getting it done, she has fun with it too, but it's still way easier. Yeah. Any other commentary?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys.